Quick question. Who do you think is going to pay to take care of our seniors if they lose Social Security and Medicare? Who's going to be left holding the bag for our aging parents or uncles or grannies if they can't get government help in their old age? Who will they move in with? Who will pay their bills? How will they afford their medications? The Republicans have been very clear that their plan is to sunset, which means get rid of, Social Security and Medicare. So tell me, who picks up the tab? The children. You. You holding down your own job and taking care of your own kids. You get to take care of your parents now too. You get to add them to your financial burden. They're your responsibility now because the Republicans have told us they don't want to keep paying for these programs, that they don't want prescription drugs to be less expensive, that they don't want a cap on seniors' medical costs or to fund the IRS to make the rich pay their taxes or to have a minimum corporate tax rate for billion-dollar corporations. Those things would fund programs like low-cost elder care, home care, Meals on Wheels, and Medicare. Nope. They would rather cut costs in the form of services to you or safety nets for our elderly. And if you can't take them in, then I guess they'll just be homeless or die from lack of care or proper medication. What other choice will they have? Republicans will protect their jobs, their benefits, their donors. They will make sure the rich have the very lowest tax rate. But you and me and Granny McGee, we are out of luck. But sure, go ahead and vote for them. The Democrats are trying to save these programs and take care of everyone, but I guess it's just more important to stick it to the libs. Say hi to your dad for me. He's going to be living with you for the rest of his life. Let's just do a quick comparison. The Democrats passed a law to forgive $10,000 worth of student loans. The Republicans passed a law that offered $10,000 bounties on women who might have had an abortion. The Democrats just raised Social Security payments by 8%. The Republicans want to cut Social Security entirely. The Democrats just signed a bill to make prescription drugs more affordable. The Republicans want to repeal the bill and make prescription drugs more expensive. The Democrats have promised that the very first bill they sign if they retain power will be a law codifying Roe v. Wade. The Republicans have promised that they will sign a national abortion ban. The Democrats just lowered the federal deficit by $1.4 trillion. The Republicans have raised the deficit every year they've been in office. The Democrats want common sense gun regulations to keep our citizens safe. The Republicans want no regulations on any weapons at any time for any reason. The Democrats just signed the biggest climate bill in the country's history to attempt to start saving our dying planet. The Republicans don't care if the planet is dying as long as the corporations who fund them continue to make money. The Democrats support Ukraine as they fight the frontline battle of democracy versus autocracy on the world stage. And the Republicans think we should pull back on supporting Ukraine and capitulate to the country committing genocide. I mean, I could go on and on. Just example after example of why it's so obvious that unless you're a billionaire who has off-world or subterranean plans for your future, you should be voting for Democrats. If you want things to be better, you can't keep choosing the party that votes to make them worse. Side by side, the contrast is so stark, the decision should be easy. This is no longer a choice between left and right. It's a choice between right and wrong. Don't let anyone tell you different. It's your future you're voting for after all. ABC just released a poll that said although the majority of Americans agree with Democrats on abortion, the number one issue is the economy, so they're going to vote on that. And I just have to say that I am so deeply sick and tired of this framing. It's not abortion or the economy. Abortion is part of the economy. What do you think happens to the economy when women are forced to carry babies they can't afford or aren't ready for? What do you think happens to the economy when women have to drop out of school or leave their jobs to care for a child? You know what's a kitchen table issue? How many people are sitting at your kitchen table? We live in a country where it can cost over $20,000 just to have a baby. We have no paid family leave, no affordable childcare. We are constantly defunding public schools. We don't have affordable health care or college. Adding to your family is 100% an economic issue in this country. I only have one child. I got very sick after he was born, and I couldn't have any more. I have to take birth control because with my disease, a pregnancy would kill me. But when my son was very young, a good friend of ours offered to surrogate for us. She knew we wanted to have more children, and she wanted to help us. And my husband and I sat down and we had a really serious discussion about it. And what we concluded was that we couldn't afford to have another child. Being very sick in America is extraordinarily expensive. We live in Los Angeles, which is astronomically expensive. We were both freelance workers who didn't have a set salary or job security. We loved being parents, but we knew that adding to our family would ultimately take away from what we'd be able to give the child we already had. So we said no. It broke our hearts, but we said no. And it was the right decision for our family. We have struggled over the years. I have spent months at a time in the hospital fighting to stay alive. Life is difficult enough. and it would have been irresponsible to add another child to the mix. Family planning is a personal issue. It's a humanity issue. But never forget that it is an economic issue. If you're voting on the economy, then vote for the party that allows Americans to decide what is best for their own lives. A party that keeps women in the workplace if that is where they want to be. The party that is working to keep costs manageable for families on a budget. The party that voted to raise the minimum wage and tax major corporations to lower prescription drug prices. The party that wants to shore up Social Security, not take it away. It's not abortion or the economy. Choosing to bring a child into the world is an economic issue. So stop separating them because they are inextricably linked.